it's a total pain in the ass because you gotta like take the drive shaft out and you gotta take the backing plate off of the carburetors. So super complicated, but let's get this thing knocked out. All right, so it's probably hard to tell what's going on here, but I'm trying to get the alternator out. To get the alternator out to take this back cover off. As you can see, this is just like a myriad of crazy things over here. So I thought it'd be a great idea, now that I'm in my 30s, a lot smarter, or maybe dumber for even thinking about it. But I think I'm gonna try and take this whole carburetor assembly off and get rid of all these vacuum lines. And I'm sure the poor car's gonna run like shit, but it'll be fun. So let's see what happens. Here's that little carburetor's out of there. It's crazy how much simpler they can be when all the stupid nonsense is off of it. But yeah, totally suspect that there's probably an assload of vacuum lines that were potentially leaking. As you can see, like already, how much of this nonsense I got out. So we've got a couple of things like this. This is like for my air shut off. We've got air shut off. We've got on this end, we've got fuel shut off, and there's another fuel shut off on the other end. So I need to make sure those are all plumbed to at least run or ignition. If I can't find an extra way to do it, I think as far as the stuff goes on here, I think this is a vacuum port I'll be able to ditch. This is the vacuum port for the brake booster, and this is kind of like the balancing vacuum ports. I just need vacuum for the distributor. See what other vacuum things I need. I think I can ditch this. I think this is part of the choke mechanism. Here is the choke on this side that runs the choke for the carburetors. Of course, the wiring and stuff there, which goes to it. And there's, I mean, just a ton of these little vacuum hoses. So I might be looking at a whole bunch of vacuum caps, but let me go inside and write down kind of what I need and just break these things down even more, and then see what we can get away with. What do you think, Sam? What do you think about this, bud? You don't like it, do you? Too much noise, huh, buddy? All right, so I pretty much got the carburetor stripped down. I got my power valve here. I've got this one vacuum takeoff that feeds something inside the carburetor. Got my air shutoff still. Got my fuel shutoffs on both ends. Still have the solenoid to do the charcoal canister, so I still have the charcoal canister. I ditched this like high idle throttle dash pot, but I still have my chokes. So I kept all the stuff to make the chokes work. I still have obviously some PCV or some EGR stuff, but I'm gonna keep it disabled, so I won't have EGR. I do have coolant in here. I have these two blocked off, but I actually gonna run that vacuum manifold, but this one I am gonna keep blocked off. So both of these are basically balanced between the two. And then this is kind of the same thing, but internal. I gotta finish cleaning that up, but that's actually the for the brake booster. But yeah, I'll clean these carburetors up. This is basically for the idle, the high idle. The choke works really good, so I'm not gonna mess with that at all. But yeah, so just to kind of keep it kind of consistent, I went ahead and so this is my vacuum diagram. So everything in orange is basically everything that I've kept, which is pretty much just like the stuff for the distributor, the stuff for the power valve that goes underneath, and the stuff for the high idle, or for the choke. And you can kind of see like in this one box here, and I modified it and removed everything that's inside of it. And so inside the box you can see what I have left. So I took out like all the EGR stuff, took out this extra vacuum switch, suction control valve, all that other nonsense. And then this box here got rid of all of that totally. So none of this stuff is transferring back in at all. All that was for basically some suction stuff. I went ahead and modified my backing plate. So cleaned all this up. And there was, this is like a little bimetallic air bleed valve, but I have it capped off on the backside. Otherwise I would have taken it out all the way, but it leaves a hole inside there. And then you got like an extra vacuum port that's blocked off. This one's blocked off. There was another control thing here for an air metering. This end out here is blocked off. I still need to block off this big suction hose here. But I did leave, this is basically like a little balance solenoid setup, and this is getting straight vacuum off the manifold. So I think that's how it works that. So that's all cleaned up, and as far as the stuff goes, and I mean, it's not a ton cleaner, but it's something. So we'll run with that. We will run with that. And hopefully we get this alternator. Pretty much, I mean, other than the carburetor, there's not going to be much more in there. And I'm really hoping I really hope it makes the car run good. That'd be really exciting. And so we'll see though.